Hey peeps, we are back. We are talking The Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 7, Episode 13.
Hey, before we get into the video, please do me the honors of subscribing to my channel, hitting the notification bell so you can always be notified when I post new content, hitting the thumbs up because that does wonders for my channel, and share. Thanks.
So before we get into the show, I did see a post that Lisa Rinna made, and I think she made this post and then deactivated her Twitter. I'm not really sure. I can't seem to find it, but she did make a post that said, "We had a good run." And then of course there was all these different little emojis, and then it says, "Love you, see you soon." And not too soon, ma'am. No, ma'am. Andy also posted, he said, "An iconic run." Well, I'm sure Andy does miss seeing her go because they were kind of two peas in a pod, if you ask me. A lot of times it did seem like he was okay with some of the behavior that she was exhibiting, which makes me side-eye Andy just a little bit, but it also shows that Bravo does allow the fired housewife to create her own narrative as to why they left the show. So there was a fan that posted something online to Meredith Marks. They said, "Can you bring back Mary M. Cosby to the show?" And Meredith said, "Trying." Listen, I absolutely know that Mary M. Cosby is a complete wreck. The woman is an absolute mess. But you have to admit, the show was a lot more interesting and a lot more funny thanks to Mary. I mean, if they don't want to bring her back on the show, they should at least just bring her back for confessionals. Allow her to throw shade in the confessionals. She is really good at throwing shade to be a pastor slash first lady, married to her step granddaddy, who doesn't like hospital smell. Anyway, moving on. So when Lisa, the Vanderpump, okay, when she found out that Lisa Rinna was gone, she posted a 2-word tweet that just said ding dong. Okay, the girls are mad. The girls are mad, okay? Let me just say Kyle, Erica, and Teddy. Oh no, Teddy. Teddy, we don't give a damn. Please stop riding on the backs of your 2 seasons on the Housewives Mellon camp. Teddy, leave us the hell alone. They had the nerve to speak out about it. They are upset. How nasty, how rude for Lisa to post ding dong. I said, what? Of all the nasty, rude, disgusting, deplorable things that Lisa Rinna has done, Erica has done, Kyle has done, and Teddy wish she could do, shut the hell up. Get off this woman's back. She's allowed to say ding dong, especially after what they did to her. And then Teddy tries to act like Lisa should be sympathetic considering that she got fired. No, ma'am. Lisa Vanderpump never got fired. Let the record reflect. Even when she didn't show up to that reunion, Bravo and Andy still wanted the Vanderpump. She left at her own choice. And since she left, Andy has asked her repeatedly to come back. So, shut the hell up. Nobody wants you back, Teddy. Cut the shit. Some housewives were tweeting on the day that Jen got sentenced, and some people were accusing them of being supportive to Jen or, something like that. Candace went out on social media that same day and she said, "Also, let me make it clear that none of my tweets today are about Jen. Let that lady go to jail in peace." All I will say is Candace is who she is on and off the show. That woman is a mess. Well, there's a guy named Zach Peters, and he has a social media presence under Just Plain Zach. And Zach has been able to drop some scoop, right? Zach says that he has confirmed that Heather's black eye was because she was tipsy and accidentally banged it in her bathroom. And they said if you rewatch, the scratches were present earlier in the night. She says it on camera, but he thinks that it had been edited out at some point. Listen, honey, if we find out that this black eye is due to Heather having an accident in her restroom, and she played this shit all this time, seeking attention, I will be so pissed off. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what they're going to say at the reunion about this black eye. It better not be from a simple accident, the way she insinuated that one of the girls in the group had busted her up about the eye. You know what I mean? Girl. I also seen that Tamra tweeted a picture of her, Vicky, and Shannon holding up the 1, 2, and 3 because they're the Tres Amigas once again, and how excited she is to be back on the show. So it looks like these ladies are still hanging out. They are still friends. Things are going strong with the Tres Amigas. Vicky did come out and say that even though she was filming with the girls, she's not 100% back with the show. She'll probably only end up in 2, maybe 3 episodes. Whitney Rose did allude to, now that Jen has been sentenced, the darkness is gone and the lightness is upon them. I guess she's saying now that Jen has been sentenced, she is going to be off the show. Jen was the one bringing all the darkness, and now she's about to bring in some light. I would like to say that Jen did cause a lot of problems. Jen was volatile. She was childish. She was over the top. But Whitney, you're childish and over the top as well. I'm just saying. Speaking of Heather and Whitney, Whitney went out to post that all of a sudden, now that Jen has been sentenced, Heather has refollowed her on social media. And she said, "So I get a refollow after her ride or die is sentenced yesterday? Wow." I would be concerned about that too if I was Whitney. I don't know if I would put that out there so that everybody could see it. I would probably just keep it to myself, but they are on a reality show, so of course, you know, she's going to put that out there. Somebody responded to her, a Heather fan, I'm sure, "This is so childish and weird that you posted this. I'm cringing." And Whitney replies, "Good, I'm glad." And then somebody else said, "Whitney, aren't you trying to make up with her? Petty comments aren't going to get you there." And Whitney says, "Nope." And that is the truth. Whitney has said multiple times she is not trying to make up with Heather. She tried and Heather rebuffed her. This situation between Whitney and Heather is sad because not only were they best friends, they're also cousins. And this is just too much. I think that they could settle this if they would just get out of reality TV land and just jump in, you know, Whitney's hot tub with a little cake and some palomas. You know, they could work this out. All right, now, so let's get into this. Episode starts off where Karen is packing. She is ready to head off to Mexico. They are going to be celebrating Ashley's 34th birthday. Ashley, Wendy, and Karen are going to go down a few hours ahead of time just so that they can set things up for the girls. And Karen made a very smart choice. She decided that while they were there, she was going to make sure that each girl's room was identical. And I thought, this is a great idea. This cuts down on all of the daggone arguing, the bickering, and the feeling slighted. Then we see Giselle in the car. Her and Robin are on the phone, and she's talking about getting a biopsy due to her having fibroids. And I can tell you, thank God I have never had fibroids, but I do have many girlfriends who have, and I hear that it is extremely painful. So my thoughts and prayers go out to Giselle. So her and Robin took the opportunity to take some digs at Karen's live show. And you know what? Listen, everybody knows I love me some Karen, but listen, that show wasn't the best. It really wasn't. And neither was Robin and Giselle's. You know, both shows were, you know, on a scale of 1 to 10, they were both about a 4. So, you know, I can't get on them too much for that. However, then I thought that they were out of their damn minds when they want to talk about how mean and rude it was that Karen did not invite Charisse to her event. And I said, "Oh, is it mean? Is it rude? Okay. Wasn't it mean and rude? When you guys excluded Wendy when you were in Miami, neither one of you gave 2 shits about Wendy's feelings. You didn't care that Mia was excluding her. And not only that, Robin, are you the same woman who didn't want to invite Wendy or her children to your awful field day event because you were upset? That was mean. That was rude. And isn't it funny how they were saying how rude it was of Karen not to invite Charisse, but they thought it was funny as hell for Charisse to send that video of Karen when one of her boobies popped out. They thought that was hilarious. Robin and Giselle, they are the biggest hypocrites. Now listen, I really wanted to skip over what happened next, but I said, shit, it happened, so we got to talk about it. Robin and Juan sat down with the kids. They are planning on having a wedding for just the four of them. No one else is invited, and this wedding is supposed to happen 40 days from the moment that they sat down to have this conversation. They even invited a tailor over so that he could, get the boys and Juan all measured up for new suits. Listen, I have no idea if this wedding is ever going to happen. I don't know if maybe they secretly went off and got married in July, and then at the reunion they're going to spring it on us that they're married. Who the hell knows? One thing is for sure, I am sick of this. Robin should not be able to use this shit as a storyline anymore. This is season 7. I am sick of Juan and Robin. So right before the trip, we see Mia talking to Gordon, and she lets him know that Jacqueline's sister is her nanny, and Jacqueline wanted her to make arrangements for her kids while she was in Mexico, and she just didn't feel like that was appropriate, and Jacqueline needs to handle her own business when it comes to her children. She says that she's been allowing Jacqueline to drop her kids off at her house every time she needs a sitter so that her sister can babysit them, and it's just not fair to her. I'm gonna say this. Do I think that it's 100% okay for Jacqueline to always drop her kids off at Mia's house when her sister is there as the nanny? No, because at that time, Mia is actually paying her to be a nanny to her children. And you're kind of piggybacking off of it. Personally, if it was me, I wouldn't care. Jacqueline, it's your sister. Your kids and my kids are like family. Come on over, bring them over. But I can see both sides to this. I can see Mia's side. You're infringing on her paid babysitting. I'm just saying, I don't know. Get down in the comments. Am I seeing it wrong? Am I reading it wrong?
Like, you invited the world, and you can't invite Cherie? Exclude her on purpose to be mean? Why?
Yeah, it's definitely deliberate.
And Cherie's dropping the video, hilarious.
How are you? I'm good. I'm gonna hustle today. Is this weird? Yeah, it is weird.
The nanny is looking for a Violet. And I said, Jacqueline is sitting right here. Those are her kids. She got pissed with that.
My nanny, her sister, I told her that her kids are not my responsibility. Then she said, well, it takes a village to raise a family, but she wouldn't know nothing about that. I think that was just really kind of opportunistic of her.
I can tell you who can't sit here.
How could she get a car for Mia?
Right.
I went to the dollar store and got this for Jizzy.
That's blinding and
Should be, right?
And I feel terrible, as I forgot a unique gift for Cherise.
Oh, we're good. God is good. Let's go.
She told Mia that I put a dark cloud over the group when I was around.
She loves champagne. We got a small champagne bottle?
I don't want to sit at that table. I'm not ready to break bread with Satan.
Karen is a mess. That woman is the master of shade. She says that she got Giselle a flashlight so that she could get a car like Jacqueline. I said, Lord, Karen. So when they get to this airport, that Jacqueline and Mia has had some sort of blow up on the airplane, I said, oh, I know that's not true. I know Robin Dixon is not on this airplane letting two people have an argument privately. No way she did not pull out her phone to record. First of all, people in first class, I have to agree with Giselle. When you are in first class, you sit there silently with your earbuds in, drinking your orange juice, reading the paper, watching Netflix. You know what I mean? Just doing your thing. You are not up there to listen to Jacqueline and Mia go back and forth on child care. I mean, what in the hell is wrong with these ladies? You can't take them anywhere. I will say this, and I don't mean to be rude. I don't mean to hurt anybody's feelings. But Jacqueline, back in Miami, when Mia was being extremely rude to Candace, Karen, and to Wendy, you thought it was cute. You thought it was cute, and you were happy to be there with Mia. But now, when the tables are turned, that's all I'm saying. The tables have turned, ma'am.
I think she just has some tension. She needs some dick, more dick.
Oh. Wait, what? Who has dick?
You would know. You want to talk about all your dicks? You want to go there? Don't try me. You're feeling yourself too much. All right, well, keep your legs closed to married men, bitch.
Married?
What she does. What she does. I'm f***ing done with you. Done with you. I would never sleep with your husband. What the I would never do this to you.
Well, she never said you did.
Who said that? Who had been saying that?
Who said that?
Who said that?
She's clearly upset. Yes. Her kids are at my goddamn house right now, eating my goddamn food.
A surprise, girl.
You got Ashley surprising us with her big ass forehead. You got Mia and Jacqueline surprising us with domestic issues. I don't need any more surprises.
I don't know why this has-been leprechaun, i.e. Cherise, keeps showing up looking for a f***ing pot of gold. Some coins, some food, some friendship. Girl, stop.
It said bride-to-be, and I walked outside, and it blew away.
The bell was like, bye, bitch. You ain't getting married. We heard this for 7 years. You tell everybody this goddamn lie with that fake-ass ring. I'm like, what the hell? Even the bell knew to get the fuck out the room.
You are the one begging me to be friends with your ass. I'm just saying. Come on now.
Running me down.
No, I'm extremely clear with you.
No.
Okay?
I'm good with not even being friends with
Cool.
you. I'd rather you be a woman and just say, you don't want to be my friend.
Excuse me, no one's talked about your ass in years. And don't question my womanhood, okay?
I drove and I was there.
You weren't coming from a good place.
For me
You
to
were trying to
say-
get back your friendships or
Unlike anyone.
That is true. She did go to the funeral. Calm down. What we're gonna do right now, I'm gonna check your ass on this. You will keep my mother's name out your mouth. Do you understand that? That is not your end to the group. I will whoop your ass in this place.
Okay, so I'm gonna be all over the place now because it was just a lot that went down. But one of the things that stands out for me is Karen and her damn confessionals. This woman is a mess. First of all, she stays on Robin's neck. She stays on Robin's neck talking about this fake ring, this fake marriage, all this. Lord, please get Karen off Robin's neck. I mean, Lord have mercy. Karen is funny as hell, but what really took me out was when she said, this has been leprechaun looking for a pot of gold, food, and friendship. I said, oh God, Karen. I mean, listen, nobody called for Charisse. Nobody called for her except for Giselle and Robin, who thought it was a good idea to get Charisse back on the show so that they could possibly get rid of Karen. Charisse cannot do a damn thing with Karen. Nothing. And when they were in that Sprinter van and Charisse said that Karen told Mia, I said, well, if she told Mia, how do you know? Considering that Mia just had a full-fledged grab the mic moment at Karen's event about friends telling other things, about friends telling what other friends said. So she says that Karen told Mia that I was a dark cloud over the group. I didn't hear any lies. What good time has Charisse ever been? I'll wait. Okay, time's up. That woman has never been a good time. I'm just saying. Now listen, this argument with Jacqueline and Mia, you know, right in the middle of Ashley's birthday celebration, you know, first of all, Mia, stop stealing Nene Leakes' classic lines, first of all. Second of all, you are terrible at a read. You are ridiculous. This friendship is disgusting. You have been friends for 30 years. Her parents took you in and helped you as you grew up because she asked them to, number one. And then on top of all of that, yes, she made that comment about the village. I'm sure that deep down she didn't mean it. It was just anger. And I'm sure that it hurt your feelings. But the truth is you really did have a village. Her family were your village. This is ridiculous. And then Jacqueline, no ma'am. I cannot sit around crying over Mia. That is a no-go. That is a no-go. Wipe your damn tears. But a whole I would never effing sleep with your husband. Girl, who said that? Nobody asked you that. Are you telling us something? What is going on? I'm just saying. I really did sort of feel bad for Jacqueline, though. She was crying the whole time. I mean, even when they left out to talk to the shaman, she was crying out there, too. The man can't even give you a good blessing because you're crying so much. It's going to be all right. By the way, when Mia was yelling at Jacqueline and asking her, does she want to get into it? Does she want to talk about all her dicks and all that stuff? Did anybody catch Robin said, she does, she does? Robin was off to the side pumping Mia up so that Mia would go against Jacqueline. What the hell is wrong with Robin? She is in her 40s. Are you seriously sitting there trying to egg this woman on to read Jacqueline's business to the rest of the group, plus all of us on national television? You don't want anybody reading you and Juan's bullshit to the whole world? Ugh, Robin is really irritating me. By the way, when they were in there doing all that screaming, Candace has tried to eat her cake, but the whole time she is making these faces, glasses on. Take them glasses off. Oh my goodness. Her and Wendy's faces were cracking me up. I want to point out that everyone is always making Candace and Wendy the villain. They are always saying that they're so aggressive, they're this, they're that. But can I point out that Candace and Wendy were the ones trying to cool things down? They were the ones supporting Jacqueline and Mia, especially Jacqueline. And also at the airport, did anybody catch it when Jacqueline was greeting Candace and she says, I'm going to hug you. Is that weird? And Candace said, yes, it is weird. It's like, Candace is going to tell the truth no matter what. Also, Candace in the confessionals. Why did she have to go after Ashley's forehead again? I said, if you can't leave this woman and her forehead the hell alone. Ashley cannot help her forehead. This is not okay. Leave her alone. I laughed anyway, but still. Jacqueline, I just want to point it out. In Miami, you were awfully rude to Candace and Wendy, but they both were there for you. Remember that. Yeah, making that comment that Jacqueline's kids were at her house eating her food. That was disgusting. At any point, did Jacqueline's mom ever say you were at her house eating all of her damn food? Sometimes you just have to sit back and think. Mia, you are selfish and rude, and I think the reason you were really going in on Jacqueline is because you realized that she was starting to make friends with this group and she could possibly become a cast member on the show, and you thought that you were being overshadowed. I would also like to say that Mia screaming, close your legs to married men openly in front of the group like that. Mia, didn't you tell us that you were spreading it low and wide with Gordon when he was still married? No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I don't think that's appropriate. You are not the right messenger for this close your legs to married men situation. No, ma'am. Not you. Now, Karen and Charisse. Did anybody notice that all the ladies were eating and listening really hard as this argument went on? And I love how Karen got Giselle real quick, who tried to jump in. Now, this argument, what I think was happening was, first of all, I think Charisse really does want to get back on the show and it's just not working. 2, I think that Giselle and Robin wanted her back on here because they knew that it would irritate Karen. 3, it does look like Charisse is now officially begging for Karen's attention. Now, Charisse bringing up her attendance at Karen's mother's funeral, I think what Karen was trying to say is, don't bring up my mom, because I know that the only reason you came to my mom's funeral was because it was your attempt to get reintroduced to this cast. You were trying to find a moment for yourself to work your way back into this group, and that was not a real, true, genuine moment. I'm thinking that that's what Karen was saying. I think she thinks that Charisse was being an opportunist. At some point in this conversation, Giselle makes some kind of comment about she doesn't know how she's in the middle of some geriatric fight between Charisse and Karen. And my thing is this, Giselle, you are closer to Karen's age than not. Please leave Karen the hell alone and stop with this age shaming. And if you are going to continue to age shame this woman, then I'm not going to feel bad for you when Candace gets on your neck and ankles. Also, did anybody notice that at dinner, Mia ordered a Tanqueray and tonic? I said, I don't think across any of the franchises have I ever heard anybody order a Tanqueray. But, you know, had I been there, I'd have said, can I get a Tanqueray and grapefruit? I'm just saying, why not? She ordered a Tanqueray. Why can't I? Also, Robin on her balcony with that veil blew off her head, I would have asked him to change my room. Because if I come back in this room and I'm drunk and decide to go out on that balcony, I'm as good as dead. That is unsafe. I don't blame Karen at all. When Karen told Charisse, nobody has talked about you in years. I agree with that. Charisse is not necessary. She is not needed. She doesn't give anything to the show. She doesn't bring any comedy relief. Nothing. She just sits there looking like an angry, grumpy leprechaun all the damn time. I'm just saying, I am sick of Charisse. Bravo, don't bring her back. I'm just saying. Anyway, peeps, get down in the comments and let me know what you think. And until next time, bye.